What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color. Welcome back to another episode of This Week in Physical Media, where we talk about every Blu-ray and 4K that's coming out this week, mostly coming out tomorrow, Tuesday, the 26th, I believe it is. No, the 27th. Excuse me. Let me get that right. So all of these coming out tomorrow in stores, online. We've got a lot to talk about this evening. We've got new releases that came out towards the end of last year, finally getting physical releases. We've also got some older films getting 4K upgrades from boutique labels like Vinegar Syndrome and Kino Lorber and other such labels. And we've also got to talk about some more Walmart exclusive Steelbooks, because that's all the rage right now. And we've got more to talk about. We're going to talk about all of that stuff and more this evening, starting right now. But first, let me give a shout out to all of the guys and gals joining us in the live stream. We shoot this show live every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'd love to have you come out and join us. We're putting together a little community here, and I love talking to you guys. Thank you for all those who do that, because I love the interaction, I love the conversation, and just love hearing your thoughts. So throw in your thoughts about any of the movies that we talk about this evening. Throw some questions my way. We'll do a little Q&A as we go. But it's going to be a fun night. Thank you for joining us. And if you're watching after the fact, we appreciate you as well. And we appreciate all the comments you leave afterwards. So leave comments, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Whatever helps the channel. I'm not good at promoting it. I'm just good at talking. Not even great at that. But that's what I'm going to do. So here we go. Let's jump into it. Who is here in the live chat? Let me see. We've got, first one today was Kyle Hartman. He popped in real early before the stream even started and said he found his copy of Wonk on 4K at Walmart in Canada, and he's very surprised. So very happy for you. I'm glad you found that, if that's a film you were looking for. I don't know why you found it so early. I guess they put it on the shelves early at your Walmarts. Canada's a magical place. Sean Fox is here. CG Anime Fan is here. Sam Fett is here. Says, good evening, everyone. My Blu-ray copy of Satan Tango came in. We'll be watching it this Saturday. Well, I hope you really enjoy it, especially if you bought it on my recommendation. A lot of people on that video were saying that they were going to pick it up solely based on my recommendation and the other films I talked about in that video. So I hope you guys like it. I hope it didn't make you purchase anything that you don't end up liking, but I think you will. I think they're great films. Kevin House is here. Says, howdy. Finally saw Past Lives last weekend and loved it. Beautifully written and acted film. Yeah, I really like that one too. That's I think it's in my top 10 from last year, maybe right around 10 or 11. I need to solidify that list, because Grace and I will be doing our Oscar video here shortly. We're going to be filming that this coming up Sunday, the week before the Oscars. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed us talking about, it's not really going to be too much about the Oscars. We do it in that format, but it's mainly just our favorite movies from last year we want to talk about. Internet users here. Henry Bidenkamp is here. Says, good evening, DJ and fellow film colorists. Evil Wax is here. Jeffrey Patron. Oh, all these great guys are here. Michael Smith and X Bowden is here. Let's see. Everybody, I think I've named everybody. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in to the new releases. Switch over to the other monitor here, and we'll start here at the top. These are sorted by popularity on Blu-ray.com, and a lot of these, I have to give a disclaimer, and not really a disclaimer, but just heads up that a lot of these are from Vinegar Syndrome and movies that are completely outside of my wheelhouse, so I will not have too much to say about them, but we'll go over them briefly. And if you are a huge Vinegar Syndrome fan, in the chat, please chime in and let us know more about these titles, because I don't have a lot of guys, fittingly so, because I don't talk about Vinegar Syndrome, so I don't really have a lot of guys in the comments that know these movies. So this first one here is Southern Comfort. It is coming out from Vinegar Syndrome. Vinegar Syndrome drops all of their releases for the month on one day, so they all come out, and this is the day they chose. So we've got a 1981 film called Southern Comfort, obviously rated R. It is Vinegar Syndrome, and this looks like an action-adventure kind of thriller film. It's not. It doesn't look like a horror film like they usually put out. It looks just like a kind of military film. This one's $50, which is pretty steep. I wonder if it has some kind of unique packaging or something. It just looks like a normal slipcover. So that's interesting. A squad of National Guardsmen on an isolated weekend exercise in the Louisiana swamp must fight for their lives when they anger local Cajuns by stealing their canoes. Interesting. So a little bit outside the box for Vinegar Syndrome, but it is limited to 8,000 copies like they always do. Includes 4K Blu-ray, both discs in there. So very interesting. Then we've got another one from them. Little Darlings is getting a 4K release. This is like a subcategory of Vinegar Syndrome called cinematograph. I'm not exactly sure how you say it, but we've talked about them a couple times before. They put out really cool releases. Let's see if we can see. Yeah, these are these kind of cloth-bound book-looking covers. I love the look of these, although I don't know any of the films that they've put out so far, but these are also limited to 8,000 copies. It's a media book or digibook, however you want to call those. And I'm not familiar with this film, but it's about two 15-year-old girls from different sides of the tracks, and they compete to see who will be first to lose their virginity while at camp. So like a raunchy teen movie from 1980. Very cool slipcover on that. And like I said, the outer packaging is very, very nice. And another one here from Vinegar Syndrome is The Horrible Dr. Hitchcock, which like I said, I'm not familiar, but it looks, of the three we've talked about so far, this one sounds the most interesting to me. It's a 1962 horror film. There's the back of the slipcover. They do really nice slipcovers. I love Vinegar Syndrome, and all their partner labels do the same kind of slipcovers. There's the front. Looks really cool. I'm a big fan of 60s horror, and I have never seen this one, but it doesn't look too low budget. It looks kind of interesting. I kind of like some of the frames they're showing, some of the cinematography. So if you know anything about that one, it is a one movie, but it has 3 different cuts of the film, which is always cool when you get different versions. A little bit more bang for your buck. Let's do one more. Let's finish out the top row. We'll do Santet and Santet 2, also from Vinegar Syndrome. This one's limited to only 6,000 copies, though, and there's the slipcover on that. Always a risk every time I click on one of these images, because they do include some nudity on their slipcovers sometimes. So that was lucky. We got cut off right there at the bottom. Looks like a tiger woman, some kind of weird human tiger hybrid. You never know what you're going to get from Vinegar Syndrome, but we're here to talk about things that are coming out, and those are the first 4, all from Vinegar Syndrome. We're going to jump into some Criterion titles and some Kino Lorber titles next, but let's jump back to the chat and see what people are saying. Jeffrey Patron, always look forward to these live streams. Love the overview of releases. They've been quite helpful. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I do it to help myself as much as to help you guys, because I like to stay up to date with what's coming out so I don't miss out on any limited editions again, because that is my wont. Luke SE, hey, DJ, what do you think of the Oscars adding a best casting category for the future? I heard about this, and I also heard that it's not starting this year. It's like maybe next year they're starting. They just announced it super early for some reason. But I think that's cool. It's not like Best Cast, which they do at the SAG Awards, which we just watched a couple days ago, but it's Best Casting, I guess. So does it go to the director? Does it go to the casting director? That's cool if it goes to the casting director, because that's a job that we don't give enough credit to and talk to, and it's a very important job. But I don't know all the ins and outs of it. Let me know who exactly it goes to. But I think it's cool. I mean, it's a part of it's an important part of the process. I don't have any issues with it. Looking forward to it next year. Michael Smith got the pre-sale coupon. Always comes before the sale. Oh yes, the infamous February Criterion 50% off sale will be. Apparently, it's coming out like soon, like tomorrow is the scuttlebutt. Everyone says it's dropping tomorrow. I've already got my cart all filled out and ready to go. I'm going to hit order as soon as I get word that the sale is coming. I haven't looked for a coupon yet. I need to do that. I need to check my inbox. So thanks for the reminder, Michael Smith. Internet user says, thumbs up for Southern Comfort, basically a slasher film. Okay, so he's heard of that one. Dan's Den also says it's underrated. It's a Walter Hill film that takes the concept of deliverance further. Interesting. So some people know about these titles. Gotcha from Evil Wax 73. I need to check my email to see if I got one. Same. Jar Jar Ed is here. Oh, haven't seen this name in a while. Greetings. I walked into a Best Buy and bought The Firm, The Exorcist, Point Break, Across the Spider-Verse, Fargo, and Wayne's World in 4K. Had to grab them when I saw them still on the shelf. Well, that's awesome that you have a Best Buy that's still selling physical media. I don't know if I have any around me. I haven't checked in a while. I should maybe do one last final Best Buy visit. That might be a fun video to do. I don't know if I have any left though, but that's awesome that you found that much. That sounds like a pretty big haul. And were they on sale, or did you just have to pay full price for them? Because most of the time from the Best Buys I've visited, they're not even dropping them. They're trying to get rid of everything, but they're still selling like outrageous $50, $60 for Criterions. Connor Nielsen, my brother caught Little Darlings at the New Bev and said it was quite good. Oh, that's cool. I'm jealous of Spencer and all the really cool movies he gets to see at the New Beverly, which is, I don't know. I got to make it out to LA and check out that theater at some point. Oh, Jar Jar Ed, thank you so much. Jar Jar Ed gave me a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate anyone who does that and donates to the channel, supports the channel, and all goes directly into the movie fund, which I will buy a lot more movies with and cover in future videos. Arrow Video, maybe I'll use this for my Criterion video. Arrow Video's limited edition of Crimson Peak is being re-released with a 4K Blu-ray disc included this time. Not sure if you already covered it. I did not cover that news, but I did see that news, and man, I have the worst luck picking Blu-rays to buy. Every time I find like an out-of-print limited edition Blu-ray that I'm really excited about, they release the 4K almost immediately. I've had that one for a while. I got that last year, I think, so it's not too big of a deal. I might sell my Blu-ray copy and pick up a 4K, even though it's the exact same packaging. I don't know. I'm still on the fence, but that's great. I'm glad it's coming back into print. It's really, really cool packaging. I like it a lot, so I'm glad other people are going to get their hands on it. But I'm not going to be able to sell my Blu-ray copy now. Evil Wax, I watched The Holdovers and American Fiction over the weekend. Loved The Holdovers and thought American Fiction was a little uneven. Had some funny moments, though. I loved both of those films. Those are both in my top 10 from last year. Really enjoyed those, so glad you got to finally check those out. And now this is here. Welcome. And Jar Jar Ed follows up and says the films he got from Best Buy were list price. Yeah, that's Best Buy for you. But thanks again for that super chat. And we will jump back into the next row of new releases. Let's see. We got a pretty good crowd growing, so let's go ahead and get some more movies down, get the people what they want. Speaking of what they want, here is the Roaring 20s from Criterion. This is a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray combo pack. We talked about this a couple months ago when they announced it. This is dropping tomorrow from Criterion. So head out to your local Barnes & Nobles, or maybe throw this in your cart for the 50% off sale that's coming any day now. This is directed by Roald Walsh, and it is from 1939. I didn't realize that was from 1939. That'll have to be on my wish list for the future, because I try to collect as many 1939 films as I can. That's the golden year. And we've talked about this one before, so I won't go too much into it, but it's a World War I three army buddies from World War I get mixed up with the mob in peacetime, starring a little Humphrey Bogart back there. So this is a 4K release, very nice. Criterion always does nice editions. I know a lot of people are excited about this one specifically, and like I said, I'm probably going to have to add that one to my list, to my short list. I don't know when I'll get to it. Maybe not this sale, but maybe by July I'll pick that one up. And then another. This one's from 1953, but another 4K Ultra HD disc from Kino Lorber with a nice 4K slipcover they've got there. This is Fear and Desire from Stanley Kubrick. Everyone loves Stanley Kubrick, and it's great to have another one of his films released in 4K. I'm sure a ton of people will be excited about this one. Another war film. This is a war drama, and it's got two different cuts of the film, and I'm sure they've got some supplements on there. Kino Lorber usually does audio commentaries and some other featurettes. I wish I had the supplements listed on this site. That would be great to go over for you guys, but I don't think they list that here, unfortunately. But I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with Fear and Desire, so we will keep moving forward. But that's awesome that he's getting another 4K. I know a lot of people are clamoring for more Kubrick in the Criterion collection. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but at least we've got Kino Lorber putting out good stuff. And speaking of Kino Lorber, we've got another one here from Kino Lorber, another 4K with slipcover. This is Gunfight at the OK Corral, getting a 4K release. Also includes the Blu-ray. There's the slipcover on that. Beautiful artwork on the front. That's a film I've heard of. I've heard a lot about this film, but I have not seen it yet. Lawman Wyatt Earp and outlaw Doc Holliday form an unlikely alliance which culminates in their participation in the legendary gunfight at the OK Corral. Western movie. I've been getting more and more into Westerns. I always used to say when I was younger that I wasn't a Western fan. Turns out I just didn't watch any Westerns. And now that I've been watching some, specifically from the Criterion Collection recently, I've really started liking them. And that's another one I guess I need to check out. It's from 1957. And it's 122 minutes, so it's a longer Western, but that sounds interesting. And then we'll do one more here. This is another 4K, but it's not from Kino Lorber. It's from Warner Brothers. It's Contagion 4K from 2011, another cult classic film. Not up there with those other ones that we've talked about, but I've heard a lot of people talk about this, especially, given the events of a couple of years ago and the timeliness of it. It does not seem to have a slipcover, at least based on the images I'm seeing here, but it might. There's been times in the past where Blu-ray.com did not have all of the images, and then things actually turned out to have a slipcover. So don't take my word for it. Check it out for yourself. But yeah, here's a psychological thriller mystery film about like a disease that was released across, I think it takes place in America, but I'm not sure. I've never seen it. But there we go. We've got Contagion. I know a lot of people will be excited to get an upgraded version of that. Let's jump back over and see what people are saying in the chat. Try to keep things going. Today's movie theater cup of the evening is Avatar: The Way of Water. I'm gonna get a sip of that so I can salvage what's left of my voice. I've actually been talking for like an hour before I shot this. I actually shot a shelf tour video that I'll be posting here, editing and posting here, hopefully getting out this week. I gave a closer look at everything on the shelf and showed all the stuff over there in the rest of the room that you can't really see. So excited about that. Stay tuned for that video coming soon. We've got Jason350Z in the chat. I don't recognize that name. Welcome if you're new. The Crow is getting a 4K release. I saw that. I saw that on Facebook. What's the account that I follow? There's some 4K account that I follow that publishes all the new 4K releases, and The Crow is one of them, and it's coming soon, which is very exciting. Dan says the Roaring Twenties is excellent. Sean Fox, hey, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. $7.99 super chat from Sean Fox. Are there any, such a cool name, by the way, Sean Fox. I'm jealous of your succinct, really cool one-syllable name. Are there any experiences for film lovers in the US that you'd recommend when I visit your country? Oh, what? Wow, what a daunting question. That's a lot of responsibility. I'm sure there are. I don't know where you're going to go when you're here. I live in Atlanta. We have a lot of cool theaters that show older releases, but I mean, you can watch movies anywhere. I guess what you're asking is, are there any like tours you can do? I know there's a lot of stuff. They shoot a lot of stuff here in Atlanta. I think you can see some sights from some movies, but I think most of that is going to be in LA and New York. So if you're coming here, maybe go to those two places. I know LA has a ton of really old movie rental stores, movie stores, and secondhand stores and movie theaters. Like we just talked about the New Beverly a little bit ago. That's Tarantino's theater. And then New York has a ton of like tours you can go on with, like the Ghostbusters tour and the Rocky tour and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know exactly what you're looking for. If you were coming to Atlanta, I have some cool things you can do. There's a couple theaters like the Plaza Theater, which someone corrected me is not downtown. It is, I think it's like in Midtown. I don't know exactly where it is. I live outside of the city, so anytime I go to the city, it's downtown. And then we've got the Terra Theater, which is another cool old theater. And then we've also got the what's it called? The Midtown Landmark, which is the Midtown Art Cinema. Those two are really close. I went to both of those just last weekend to watch the shorts collection, the Oscar shorts collection, and also to watch Zone of Interest. So I've been to all those theaters. They're really cool. But yeah, I don't know. There's tons of stuff here. You're probably going to want to go to LA because that's where most of it's going to be. If you're coming here, probably want to go there. But thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. And let's see. And that is the first super chat. I got a little notification here. That's the first super chat from Sean Fox. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. If you have any follow-up questions, put those in the chat as well about your trip here, and I'll try to answer those a little bit more specifically. But yeah, that's a tough question. Ethan Edwards is here in the chat. Says Roaring Twenties is great. Definitely upgrading for my old DVD. Luke S.E. James Cagney has been hit and miss for me. I've only seen two, Angels with Dirty Faces, which was a hit, and Midsummer's Night's Dream adaptation. That was a big miss. So not a fan of Midsummer Night's Dream. Jar Jar Ed, this is going to be a great year for 4K. The Crow, Aliens, The Abyss, True Lies, and The Running Man, just to name a few. So Jar Jar Ed's a big 80s movie fan, if you can't tell from his comment there. But yeah, I'm really excited for those of you who are going to be getting those. Ethan Edwards says Fear and Desire is Kubrick's worst by far. Well, that's unfortunate. I didn't know that. Dan's Den says it is a movie about nothing. So maybe people aren't excited about this. I don't know. I thought people were always excited about Kubrick stuff. Samuel Stevens, another newer name. Gonna watch the Roaring Twenties tonight. If anyone here hasn't seen it, The Public Enemy 1931 is a brutal and ballsy gangster film. Lots of Coppola and Scorsese came from it. Awesome, man. Thanks for the recommendation there. Connor says Fear and Desire is not good. Luckily, it was Kubrick's first, so he got the crap out of his system quick. Wow, everyone just piling onto this film. Let's talk about a film that people like. Jeffrey Patron says, excited for Gunfight at the OK Corral. John Sturges had an interesting way of directing, especially action. His stuff could really sing sometimes. Thank you for that recommendation, Jeffrey. Always interested to see what you have to say. Always following Jeffrey on Letterboxd. The man watches so many films. I don't know how he has time for it all. Sam Fett, everyone make sure you hit the like button. Great group tonight. Hey, thank you, Sam Fett, for doing my promoting for me, because I am terrible at it. Let's see. An internet user, please get your hands on the Dune Part 2 popcorn bucket. Yes! Are they doing a cup? Because I try to get these cups. I don't actually get anything at the theater, but my wife, every time we go to a movie, she always has to get a Coke Icy, and then she gets it in one of these giant cups. So we have quite the collection of these cups. I don't know how many I've shown on camera before, but unfortunately, not many of them are movies I actually like. So hopefully someday, fingers crossed, I'll get one for a movie that I actually like. And I like the first Dune, so maybe I'll get that one if they have one. Gus is here. Thank you so much, Gus, for joining us. And now this, I can't wait for your shelf tour. Thank you. I hope there's some interest in that. I've never done one of those before, but I wanted to get it out because, I don't know, because I've never done one before. And I think it might be interesting for some people. Let's see. Wow, lots of stuff here. Lots of stuff. Let me jump back, and then we will get back to the chat here in a minute, because I'm falling behind. I don't want to get too far behind for people watching after the fact. So let's talk about some more new releases. We've got Divinity. One moment. That's from one of my favorite animated movies. What's that from? Divinity on Blu-ray, slipcover in original pressing, Vinegar Syndrome. This is a 2023 film. Wow, very recent film they're putting out called Divinity. There we go. There's the slipcover. Look at those pecs. Look at those abs. Wow. All kinds of good stuff there on the front. Yeah, it's coming with the slipcover. That is a film that looks like it has a lot of nudity, so I won't scroll down there, but it is a mystery sci-fi thriller film coming out from Vinegar Syndrome. Sounds interesting. And then we've got The Tune from my birth year, 1992. This is another animated film from Deaf Crocodile, which we've been talking about a lot lately. Deaf Crocodile is another label that partners with Vinegar Syndrome, and I've been picking up some releases from them. I'm actually watching through them this week. I'm going to try to get a spotlight video for that up for you guys. I've got 3 films from one director, and he's a really, really cool director that I had never seen before or heard of. And I'm watching through. I've seen one of them. I want to watch the other 2, and then I'll get a video up for you guys recommending those. Or not. I don't know. I really like the first one, but who knows? Maybe I won't like the second too. Here is the slip on The Tune. Looks like a very interesting, unique animated style. I love Deaf Crocodiles is shining some light on animation, because most of the boutique labels don't give animation any love, and I wish they would. This is an animated film, like I said, from 1992. Called The Tune. Let me read this a little bit. Dell is a songwriter for the obnoxious Mr. Mega, and in love with Dee Dee, Mega's secretary. His quest to write a hit tune brings him to the wacky world of Flooby Nooby, where he just might learn to write songs from the heart. So adult animation, which is always interesting. Like I said, very unique style, and looks like it has a little bit, it's like a comedy, a little bit of a little parody, and it's a musical. So a musical comedy animation, I'm sold. I need to look further into that and that filmmaker, because I'm not familiar. Next, we've got Wonka 4K. Wonka's coming to 4K. This was a huge hit. I think this is a bigger hit than anyone was expecting. I wasn't a big fan, but I know a lot of people did like it. This is the slipcover on that one. Nice little shade of purple there, which looks really good. I don't like what this movie looks like, but I'm glad it's getting a 4K release. It's not a given these days that new movies are going to get 4Ks. Even ones that make a lot of money and win Oscars don't get 4Ks, which is a shame, but this is definitely getting one. There's the Wonka 4K. That's only 4K and digital. No Blu-ray or DVD on that one. And then we'll scroll down here and take a look at the case for the Blu-ray. Exactly the same, except it has the ugly Blu-ray banner at the top, but everything else is the same, and that is also just Blu-ray and digital, really skimping on those discs. So if you're someone who wants multiple discs, sorry, you're out of luck. And then here we go, get another one here. This is the Wonka Target exclusive. Interesting. I thought Target exclusive, I thought Target was out of the exclusives game. I haven't seen them do those in a while because they're pretty much, my Targets don't even have physical media sections anymore, but some people's do. And here's the exclusive packaging. It's just a different cover and it has some art cards in it. So not really enticing, but there you go. If you want to get if you just like the idea of exclusives, there's a Target exclusive for you with a less interesting cover and some art cards. So there you go. Wonka is getting all kinds of editions. Choose the one you like and bring it home if you like that movie. And then one more here. This is Sex Mission. This is another Vinegar Syndrome release from 1984. It is about two scientists that are placed in hibernation and should be awakened after 3 years, but when they wake up, it turns out that it's been 50 years. Oops, someone screwed up. And they're the only two males in a new underground society composed exclusively of women. Wow. Let your imaginations run wild with what you think happens in that film. But that's the premise, quite the premise for Sex Mission. But yeah, there's another one from Vinegar Syndrome. Lots coming out from Vinegar Syndrome. Like I said, let's jump back to the chat and catch up here. Connor Nielsen says divine abs. He's getting hot and heavy over there. Sean Fox, getting those abs seems like so much work. It is work. That's why you gotta post it right there on the slipcover. Spencer's here, Connor Nielsen's twin brother. Good to see you both here. Well, I've got them both in the same room. I don't know if this has ever happened. I don't think they've ever been on a stream at the same time. We'll see what happens. Kevin House, I think you would love the animation of Bill Plimpton. Bill Plimpton, not familiar with that name. I'll have to check him out. Thanks for that, Kevin. Dan's Den, not Den's Dan. Wonka found the chocolate holy grail at the box office. It really did, man. It made so much money. David Albee says, I didn't get my notifications. Sorry, David. You can blame YouTube for that, but glad you made it. Thanks for joining in. My good friend Austin is here. He's been on the channel a couple times before. So, hey, welcome, man. I don't know if I've ever seen you on one of these before. Good to see you. Let's see. Connor Nielsen says he's betting and waiting patiently on an inevitable A24 shop exclusive on Past Lives and The Zone of Interest. I hope so, man. I would love to own both of those films, and I love A24's releases. They look really good. Let me see. Eva Wax, also following up, says Bill Plimpton's animation is amazing. A lot of his stuff was on MTV years ago on a show called Liquid Television. Criterion Channel had a bunch of his shorts on there a couple months ago. Man, that's the one thing about Criterion Channel. They have animation on their channel, but it comes and goes so quickly. I just recently watched one that was a French animated movie from a few years ago, or not a movie, it was a French animated short about a guy who dies and goes to heaven, and he can't wait for his his wife or ex-wife or girlfriend. I don't know the relationship, but he's waiting and waiting and waiting for her to get there, and she finally gets there, and she wants nothing to. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but his hopes are dashed, and he has to find something else to live for. And it's really sweet. I actually really liked it. If you're going through a breakup, check it out. I wish I could remember the name of it. Maybe someone let me know in the chat. French animated short about I think it's just his name is the name, but it was really awesome. I love the animation style. Jar Jar Ed, I think I need a shelf case for my 4K movie library. I am out of space in my closet. Dude, I also used to keep my movies in a closet. Actually, when I first moved in with Grace, I had all of my movies just in her closet, and we eventually outgrew that and had to build some shelves, and then we moved multiple times since then. But now I'm running out of space again, so gonna have to start selling stuff, gonna have to start rearranging stuff. That's kind of why I wanted to do the shelf tour now before I start making a mess and moving everything around again. Samuel Stevens, Gunfight at the OK Corral is terrible. One of the worst Westerns I've ever seen. Well, nothing good is coming out this week, apparently, guys. I guess maybe we could just stop here because everything that I'm bringing up is getting raked over the coals in the comments. Let's see. Who else is here in the chat? Nobody's in the chat. I think I'm all caught up. I didn't read. If I missed a question, write it again, and I'll catch up with it. But let's go ahead and go over here. We've got Blonde Death, which is coming out from Bleeding Skull, which is another label. They just keep coming. I've not heard of this one. This is a comedy and crime film. Meet Tammy, the teenage time bomb. 18 years of bottled-up frustration are about to explode. And here's the overview on that. It looks really cool. It's got a nice slipcover. This is probably a partner label with Vinegar Syndrome. Kind of looks like the same kind of slipcover, and it's coming out the same day as their and Deaf Crocodile's releases, so I'm assuming that's what that is. That's a 1984 film, and yeah, a comedy crime film. And then we've got Raiders of the Living Dead from 1986. This is from Severin Film, which I have only one release of. There's a couple other ones I want to get, but I'm not a huge Severin collector, but they do put out a lot of cool releases. Raiders of the Living Dead. There's the Severin logo there at the bottom. Awesome artwork on this. I don't know if the movie lives up to the artwork, but it's one movie. It's got 3 different cuts. And we'll read a little blurb here. A newspaper reporter hears of strange goings-on a remote island. He travels there and finds that a mad scientist lives there, and he is creating zombies. So it's a pretty basic premise. That's all you need for a zombie film. There's a guy making them, and I like the contained location of being on an island for a zombie film. I don't know if I've seen that before. Next, we've got The Dead One, also from Severin Films, another horror movie. 1961, so 60s horror on this one. A vengeful voodoo priestess revives and controls a hideous, rotting zombie to do her foul bidding and commit unspeakable ritualistic acts of murder. And there's the cover on that one. You got a little voodoo. Oh, I actually really like that poster. So kind of Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, but with a voodoo twist on it. So yeah, they've got a theme this week. Severin's putting out a lot of zombie movies. Let's see if there's any more. This is not a zombie movie, despite what you would say about Timothée Chalamet's acting. This is Wonka, one of the Wonkas we missed. There's too many Wonkas. I missed a Wonka. This is the Steelbook version. And you guessed it, it's a Walmart exclusive Steelbook. There's the inside with a bunch of delectable candies. There's actually no candy shown in the film. No real candy anyway. There it is, Wonka right there. It's got a nice gold spine. I do like the look of the Steelbook. It's okay. It's all right. But that is a Walmart exclusive Steelbook. So hit up your local Walmarts if you want to check out the Wonka Steelbook. That's another edition that I didn't bring up earlier. But if you are looking for Wonka and you like Steelbooks, there is your guy. Next up, Never Surrender, which is a Galaxy Quest documentary. Coming out on Blu-ray. Blu-ray only on this one, but it does have a slipcover in the original pressing. Only 1,000 copies on this one, though, so if you're looking for this documentary, if you're a big Galaxy Quest fan, Star Trek fan, check this out. I did not know about this, but it's a documentary from ETR Media from 2019, and it's only 87 minutes. Look at that. It's got Tony Shalhoub. Tony Shalhoub's in it. That's worth the admission price right there. Let's look at the slipcover. There it is. Very cool slipcover. Looks, oh yeah, you got Tim Allen in there right there in the front. So here you go. I have seen Galaxy Quest, but I have not revisited it in a while. Maybe I should. I know it's a big favorite of people's. The Strangler is also coming out from Altered Innocence, 1970 film. This is a straight up drama about unhappy women that are being murdered. Lots of murder and death and zombies and stuff this week. It's a heavy week. Heavy week. Being murdered by Emil, a psychotic young man suffering from the delusion that his acts are mercy killings. Interesting. So kind of similar to Arsenic and Old Lace, one of my favorite films, although this does not seem to be anywhere near as funny as that. It doesn't seem to be a comedy. It seems to be very, very serious. So a very young serial killer. He can sense your despair, or at least he thinks he does, and he thinks he's doing the right thing. So that's incredibly creepy. And not my thing at all. The Unscarred is coming out, another Severin Films. Let's see if it's a zombie film. This is from 2000. Mystery thriller. 4 exchange students meet in Berlin 20 years after graduating, but picking up where they left off doesn't turn out to be as easy as they hoped. So not about zombies, but students. Similar genre. So that's from Severin. All right, lots of Severin stuff. I didn't even notice all the Severin stuff coming out this week. Let's jump back over here and see what people are saying. Blonde Death looks like my kind of movie, says Austin. Dan's Dan, Raiders of the Living Dead sounds rad. I love that Books of Dune. This is from Jar Jar Ed. I love the Books of Dune. Not a fan of the David Lynch film from the 80s. Loved part 1 of the current adaptation and can't wait for part 2. I'm with you, man. I haven't seen the Lynch film, but I loved the first part. I need to rewatch it, though, before I go see the second one, because I haven't seen it since the theater. So I need to watch it again. Connor Nielsen says, Raiders of the Living Dead, they went shameless with that title. Yeah, it kind of rolls off the tongue, though. Ethan Edwards, I've never seen Blonde Death, but I'm going to go out on a limb and guess it isn't very good. Quick to judge, Ethan. Quick to judge. You never know. But no, I'm not a huge... actually, don't... I almost said Vinegar Syndrome, but that's not even Vinegar Syndrome. David Albee, I'm going to need you to make a video about budgeting and collecting, because, yeah, I need that help. Yeah, dude, I need help, too. Right now, I don't buy. I haven't, this is kind of my resolution for the year. I'm not going to buy anything except for using the money that since I've started making money on YouTube, I'm very, very little. Like I don't know if I can talk about this. Am I going to get shut down? YouTube only pays you a check if you make over $100 in a month. Like you have to hit like a cap for them to give you a check. And I definitely don't hit that every month because we have a very small channel and ad revenue is like cents for each ad. I don't even know how much it is. So it's very low, but I am starting to get paychecks from YouTube, very minimal, but I am going to have to try to keep it to just those, those paychecks because I started buying too much last year, kind of went overboard, and money's a little tight right now. So we're gonna kind of step back a little bit, slow down on the releases, do more videos about things that I already own, watch more things that I already own, and then kind of save up for the big sales so I can do videos for those. So we're gonna scale back. Don't worry, we're still gonna put out lots of videos, but yeah, I need to stop buying as much as I was buying because I was being irresponsible. Got caught up in the collector bug last year. Let's see, what are people saying? David Albee says Contagion is very good. He's still catching up. He's a little behind. Dan's Den says there are too many movies called The Strangler. Yeah, seriously, that's a very generic title. Henry Bidenkamp says Never Surrender artwork looks like it was inspired by Star Trek, the motion picture. Yeah, I was intrigued by that too because it didn't look anything like Galaxy Quest. The Day Ghost, they're unhappy because they're being murdered. Crazy. Seriously, some of these premises are a little goofy. Luke, have you seen The Iron Claw, DJ? I saw it last week and it broke me. I cried about 5 times. I have not seen The Iron Claw. I've been trying to see as many movies as I can from last year, but there's so many to see, and I'm trying to catch up on like the Oscar releases before the Oscars come because we're watching that. We're hosting a party for that. John's going to come over, and he has a friend coming over that he's watched the Oscars with every year for like the last 20 years. So we're very happy to have them over. Grace is a big fan. She likes to watch those and try to like compete and guess, and she always wipes the floor with me. But I'm going to try again, and I'm going to lose again because she's really good at that. So yeah, I'm going to try to watch. I don't know if I'll get a chance to see The Iron Claw or not. Jar Jar Ed Zombies and 28 Years Later is entering production within a month. What a coincidence. Maybe it's subliminal. Kevin House, DJ seen The Strangler. Ho, ho, ho. Let me plug in my phone here because it's about to die, and that would not be good. There we go. Should be good. Kevin House, I've seen The Strangler. It stars Victor Bono and is actually pretty good. Finally, we've got a movie that people are digging tonight. Let's see here. Let me catch up here. Samuel Stevens, is Paddington 3 a thing yet? I don't know if the man's making Paddington 3. He's been busy wonking it up. Luke SE, I'd say it may be my favorite film of last year, only behind Oppenheimer. So high praise for Iron Claw from Luke. Jason says Paddington 3 is happening. So there you go, David. Rest assured, it's coming soon. I don't know how soon, but it will be happening. All right, let's get back over here. What is going on here? Dream Scenario, or Scenario, if you like to say it that way. I've heard it both ways. A large image here. This is Nicolas Cage's new movie, Meet the Man of Your Dreams. Now, this looked like, actually, you have no idea what this movie's about, but it looked like a second try at the whole unbearable weight of massive talent kind of thing that he did just last year, and now he's got another one. This is from Lionsgate Films. It's not one of their Lionsgate Steelbooks, but it is got a nice slipcover. It's Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. And it's a crazy, like, I'm assuming meta Nicolas Cage movie. A schlubby professor who never made it becomes an overnight celebrity after appearing in the dreams of every person on Earth. So fantasy film, comedy film, horror film, it says here. So, Nicolas Cage. Standard Nicolas Cage these days. Now this is really interesting. I don't know anything about this, but I saw this when I was prepping for this. This looks actually pretty cool. Classic Tokusatsu collection on Blu-ray. This is from Shout Factory. It's a Shout Factory exclusive, so I think you have to get it on their website. Limited to 2,500 copies. And there's 7 movies in this set. This is, look at that. Look at that cover. It looks amazing. I've never seen old 60s Tokusatsu. This is 60s. No, this is 59 to 69. So a whole decade of Tokusatsu stuff. I grew up with the American Power Rangers, which was based on Tokusatsu TV stuff from the 80s and 90s. But I've never seen this stuff, but it looks amazing based on that cover. So I'm kind of interested in that. Only I guess I can't look at the price because it's exclusive to Shout Factory's website. So I don't know how much it is, but it is 7 movies, 507 minutes total, and probably some pretty cool supplements on there. So that's really cool. That's something unique and interesting in the sea of movies that stood out to me. We've also got Mystery Science Theater releasing a set. This is season 13 on Blu-ray from 2022. I didn't realize they were doing new seasons of this, and I don't know if it's any good because I haven't heard about it, but there you go. You got season 13 from 2022. That's a gigantic picture. I can't even get it all in the frame, but that's cool. It's getting a Blu-ray release, also from Shout Factory. And what else? Should we talk about this quickly? Let's quickly talk about the Radiance Film releases. So Radiance Films, another amazing label that's getting a lot of buzz lately. They came on the scene hot, and they've been keeping up they've been keeping it up, man. People are still excited about them. This is Black Tight Killers, a film by Yasuhara Hasebi, Japanese film. All of their releases are limited to 3,000. They've got the same kind of cases as Criterion, so if you like those, maybe check these out. I think these are, it says region A and B, so both versions there for you. This is a military photographer takes a cute stewardess out to dinner where she's promptly kidnapped. Deciding that he has fallen in love with the girl, our hero decides to investigate her kidnapping himself. So there you go. Little revenge action thriller type film coming out from Radiance Films. And then they have another one coming out. I'll scroll down here. Here it is. It's called Alan Sanfan from Radiance Films, 1974. This is a historical drama. An anarchist leader wishes to retire as he is old and tired. He tries to hide himself, but his friends find him and insist he carries on helping them. So there you go, little historical drama there. Another interesting title. I love Radiance Films covers. They've got really good covers. Haven't picked up my first Radiance film yet, but there's been a lot I've been wanting to check out. So if you're a Radiance fan, let us know in the chat which ones you've picked up, which ones we should start with. And then real quick, we've got a re-release of All Quiet on the Western Front, getting a 4K Blu-ray Steelbook. I think this is the first Steelbook for this film. I know it got a Digibook release, or Media Book, however you want to call it, last year. This was the Oscar nominee from last year. I wasn't a big fan of this movie, so I didn't pick it up, but it did have a really nice Digibook release, and now it's getting a Steelbook release, but it's a super long Steelbook. Are you looking at this? Look how long this is. Like, this is I don't know if it's just a weird image or if it's an extra long Steelbook, but it's a 4K Steelbook. If you love this film, I'm sure it's going to look great on 4K. It's that 2022 version, and it's a heavy film. But I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but I didn't think it really captured the spirit of the book at all, which is one of my favorite books. So maybe I'm not the target audience for it, but I know a lot of people liked it, and it's getting a Steelbook, so check it out. Let's jump back and see what people are saying over here. Holy cow. I am not going to be able to keep up. Thank you guys so much for all the comments. Sorry if I don't get to everybody's. We've got a big crowd here tonight. Let's see. Evil Wax says, I definitely want to see Dream Scenario. Good. I'm interested as well. I haven't seen a Nick Cage movie in a while, though. Kevin House says the Oppenheimer disc has over 3 hours of the great bonus features. That's really cool that a studio release is putting out that many supplements, because they've been dwindling lately. But I know he doesn't like commentaries, but I know Christopher Nolan always has been a big proponent of special features, so I'm glad he's still getting to do that. And that was a big selling disc. That was a huge selling disc. Let's see. Austin says that Dream Scenario is not really anything like Unbearable Massive Weight. It's a mix of a ton of different genres. Interesting. Henry Bidenkamp says, everybody excited for Greta Gerwig's doing the Narnia series? I don't know what to think about that news. That is fascinating. I don't know. I mean, it seems like a passion project for her, so hopefully she has a take, and and I enjoy her take. I haven't enjoyed all of her takes in the past. But I don't know. She's a great director, and I hope the one thing that worries me is I think she's only got a plan for like 3 movies, so we might get the exact same situation we got last time, where we get like the first 3 and then we just stop, or else someone else takes over the reins and it might not be as good, or it's just really different. I don't know. I wish someone would just kind of do the whole thing, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what it looks like. I'm cautiously optimistic, and I hope she does a great job. Jar Jar Ed, Sony took over Lionsgate Blu-rays releases a few years ago, and now they're taking over Disney's Blu-rays. I hope the catalog titles don't get left behind. Yeah, that's that's what everyone's talking about right now. What exactly is Sony going to do? What is Disney going to let them put out? I don't have any answers for you, but I'm excited to see what happens. And I made my first, maybe last, I made a big Disney Movie Club order a couple days ago, and it has shipped and it should be here soon, so there'll be a video coming soon when I open that haul. There'll be a haul video for that because I got quite a few of the DMC exclusives before they went on out of print. A lot of them are out of stock already, so I don't know, man. Go ahead and jump on that if you want any more of those. Patrick Craig is here. Always good to talk to you. I watched The Black Tight Killers 2 weeks ago. It's fantastic, the film and Blu-ray. Okay, so he's got the... Did you get it from Radiance Films, or did you just watch it on streaming or something? Paddington 3 release date in the US is January 17th next year, says Jason. Wow, that's really quick. I guess they haven't even... Are they about to start filming that? Patrick Craig says, got Alansafan. Haven't seen it yet, though. Looking forward to it. So you must have got your Radiance Films early this month, if you're already watching both of those. But let me know how that second one is, because that one seems pretty interesting. I think that's more my thing than the first one. Who's this? This is a new name, Rose. Oh, no, I think I've maybe read this once before. Rose Selavi. OMG, looking so pretty with the new haircut. Thank you. I did get a haircut this week, and I feel a lot lighter. And I feel good. Let's see. Oh, the chat just jumped up. Let's see. Ethan Edwards, I have that digibook, and it's also quite large. Yeah, I noticed that. It's like DVD size. It's super tall. He's talking about All Quiet on the Western Front. David Albee says Iron Claw is worth the watch. Lots of stuff people are talking about in the chat. Let me keep going on this. Real quick, Patrick Craig says, yeah, I got my Radiance early from Diablo League DVD. I probably should look into that and get them straight from them instead of from the UK, because they would get here a lot earlier and I wouldn't have to pay as much shipping. All right, let's finish this up. We've been talking for 47 minutes and we've still got quite a few to get through here. So we're gonna pick up the pace. As we roll through these. Roaring Twenties is getting a Blu-ray, exact same artwork as the 4K. We've got VHS 85 coming out on Blu-ray from 2023. Oh no. It's freezing up on me again. This is exactly what happened last time. I hope we don't have any problems. Okay, whew. Refresh the page and it's here. All right, last time the Chrome just completely crapped out on me, and I was still streaming. Everything was fine. You guys can hear me, but I couldn't see your chats and I couldn't see any of the movies. So luckily that didn't happen again, but VHS 85 is coming out. This is a 2023 film, another RLJ Entertainment, which is a label we talk about pretty frequently on this show anyway. I don't hear anyone else talking about it, but think they're putting out stuff. This is a Shudder original, so coming from that streaming service, so clearly a horror film. Then we've got Migration getting a 4K release, which I can't... Didn't this do like surprisingly well for an Illumination film, or did it do terrible? I can't remember what the news was. It either did better than people were thinking, or it did terrible. I think it was like the lowest like grossing Illumination film. I think that's what it was. Yeah, I guess nobody wants to watch a movie about ducks unless there's Minions or Marios or something. So that's Migration. I don't know if anyone in my audience will be excited about that one, but we do have a pretty cool release here from Kino Lorber. It's a trilogy of films. It's Film Noir, The Dark Side of Cinema, Volume 17. Volume 17 of these. So they put out a ton of these, and they got these nice little slipcases, nice little box sets. I'll show you the artwork on that one. I kind of would love to collect these, but I'm way behind at this point. There's 17 of them. Let me know in the chat if you have all 17 of these. Is there anyone out there that has all 17 of those? 3 noir films from 1953 to 1956. So those are always cool. We've talked about a couple of those in the past. Another Kino Lorber release is Monk, the complete 4th season. If you don't know about this, they're putting out all of the seasons of Monk on Blu-ray. These are not 4K, but they are Blu-ray, and they have nice slipcovers and everything. And they're releasing one every month this year. So we've got, I think we had the last 2 months of last year and the first 2 months of this year, we got a Monk season. So we're on season 4, and I don't know how many seasons of this show there are. I think there's like 7 or 8. So we should be getting all of those in the next coming months. Grace has been talking to me about maybe picking these up because this was a show she really liked when it was on. I never saw this, but I was a big fan of Psych, which is kind of like a ripoff of this show. Slightly different, but still very similar. So maybe we'll start watching through Monk together. That might be something we watch like on lunch together or something. So maybe I'll be picking those Blu-rays up and I can do a review for you. We've also got One Man from 1977. This is coming out from Canadian International Pictures. We're getting to the more obscure stuff here. This is, like I said, a 1977 film. It's a drama. It's a thriller about a crusading TV reporter that finds his life ripped apart as he investigates a story about a company's deadly criminal negligence. So there you go. A little crime, little intrigue. And then we've got Gay USA, snapshots of 1970s LGBT resistance, coming out on Blu-ray. This is another Altered Innocence. We talked about them a little bit earlier. There is the slipcover on that. Kind of like a stamp kind of slipcover on that, and then the front, which I think looks a little bit cooler. But yeah, I've never heard of this. This is a documentary. I guess it's a documentary because it's just like footage from real life. But that's available for only $18 right now. If that sounds interesting to you, Altered Innocence, and again, a label I don't know much about. And then what else do we have here? What else? Is there anything else that people actually know what I'm talking about? We've got Cleaners coming out from 2019, which is a drama coming-of-age comedy. And then we've got... here's another Walmart exclusive Steelbook, The Magnificent Seven, which is a really great movie. That's a great Western if you want to check out just like a classic Western based on Kurosawa stuff. Here it is. That's the not slipcover, that's the Steelbook on that. I'm not crazy about the Steelbook, actually. I don't like that it's just metal. I don't think it looks very cool. I think you could have done better. Walmart, do better next time. Sorry, that's actually from Shout Factory, but they're just distributing it through Walmart. But yeah, not crazy about that one, but that is cool that they're putting that out. It's a 4K release. I have the 4K release from Shout Select, so I don't need that one. But if you're a Steelbook fan and you prefer that, and you think it looks better than I do, maybe check that one out. And then real quick, we have to talk about this one because this is fascinating. So Next Goal Wins is coming out on Blu-ray from Disney tomorrow, like a week after they just announced that they're completely shutting down Disney Movie Club. Like I saw this, well, I got an email about this from DMC that was like, oh, this is coming soon. You can buy it as a reward. But yeah, they probably didn't print very many copies of it because they're shutting down immediately. I didn't check this movie out. I'm not a big Taika Waititi fan. So there's that. If you want to watch his style of comedy film about soccer, there you go, from Disney Buena Vista, available for $20 on Amazon right now. That's Next Goal Wins. I'm going to jump back to the chat because my voice is leaving me. What do we got here? All right. Ethan Edwards says Dollar Tree always ends up with a ton of Shudder titles. I've never been able to find anything at a Dollar Tree. Maybe I should check there more often. I never have good luck at any of like some people say you can find good deals at like Big Lots and stuff sometimes. I've never been able to find anything, but more power to you. 123 Rock Fan is here. Hey, welcome to the stream. Emily Mortimer is pretty good replacement. Still disappointed though. I don't know what he's talking about. I completely missed the beginning of that conversation. Henry Bidenkamp, I have all 16 of Kino's film noir sets. Holy crap. Henry Bidenkamp, you need to start a YouTube channel because you have an incredible collection. Just from the little tidbits I've heard here in the comments, I'm very jealous of your collection. Dan's Den, legs were good for Migration. Yes, okay, so that's why I was confused. It underperformed initially, but it kind of hung in the theater for a while like animation films usually do. Patrick Craig, I got Get USA, Cleaners, and the Ashgar Farhadi, maybe we'll talk about that in a second here, set from Vinegar Syndrome. Cleaners has a really interesting visual style. Farhadi makes moving dramas. Interesting. Yeah, so Patrick Craig is our, and I always say it like that because of Veep, sorry, but he's our resident like partner label aficionado. He knows all about the partner labels from Vinegar Syndrome. I'm assuming all three of those came from a similar partner label that Vinegar Syndrome works with, or maybe they're from Vinegar Syndrome proper. I'm not sure, but Patrick always knows about that stuff. So thanks for all your recommendations and reviews on those, because I'm just now dipping my toe into some of those partner labels with Yellow Veil and Deaf Crocodile, but I'm interested to check out more. Robert Correa, what's your turnaround rate for blind buys? Like, do you watch them right away or save them for director, actor, filmography deep dives? Amazing question. This is an excellent question. Love this, Roberto. This is something I'm actually like trying to get better at. Like, I used to, like I said, last year I went a little crazy, bought too much stuff that I did not have time to watch through. But this year I'm trying to be a little bit better about watching stuff I actually have instead of watching new stuff. So I have made a list on Letterboxd. It's called my 2024 watch list. And I have a lot of things on there that I want to knock out this year. And a lot of it, like you said, is based on director watch throughs that I want to do, or box sets that are centered on certain directors, or film series, or director actor combos, stuff like that. I've got the John Ford box set that I want to get through, and a couple other indicator sets, and some Criterion stuff that I want to get through. So I'm trying to do a little bit better about that. I will do deep dives into specific actors or directors, and I want to do that also because I feel like it makes a better video for you guys. Me just saying, look at this box set I got, isn't it cool? And then like video's over, it doesn't really help you at all. So I want to actually watch through the films first and then do the video about it, even if it's not as timely, or like, I mean, most of them aren't timely anyway. These are like out of print box sets that have been no one's been talking about for a long time. So if it's not urgent, if it's not new like the Conan set, I'm probably just going to hold off on it until I watch through it and then talk to you guys about it. Like I said, I'm trying to be a little bit more focused with my film watching. I have so many things I want to do. I'm usually all over the place, and then it amounts to no videos. So I want to focus. Like I said, I'm watching through some Alexander Ptushkin movies right now from Deaf Crocodile. Once I watch through all three of those, I'll do a video. Just like I did the week of Hungarian films with Satan Tango. I'll watch through all those and do a video. So I'm trying to be a little more focused, get through one video first, get it out, and then move on to the next thing instead of just being all over the place. So hopefully I get better about that. Sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained, but that's a great question. And yeah, that's something I'm trying to get better about. Blind buys usually, especially with Criterion, I've got too many of those. They stay on the shelf for too long, so I want to get better about knocking those out quickly. CJ Anime Fan, have you heard about the upcoming It's a Wonderful Life remake? No, I have not. I know there's a Chinese It's a Wonderful Life remake that came out in like the 90s that I'm kind of interested in. They have a really cool World Cinema Library release of that film that looks really nice, but no, I didn't know they were doing another one. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It's like my favorite film of all time. Patrick Craig, I highly recommend at least watching the trailer for Cleaners to see the style. I will do, because I trust your recommendations, and I like just uniquely styled, interesting, weird-looking movies. Jar Jar Ed, tomorrow Tremors and Flatliners are going to arrive in the mail. I finally got around to getting these two on 4K and can't wait to see how they look. Did you get I'm assuming you got the Arrow video releases, because those are both from them. So let me know how they are. Dan's Dead, they've made so many It's a Wonderful Life remakes. Yeah, I haven't checked any out. I have no interest. I think I'm good with that story. Evil Wax, right now I'm focused on seeing all the Best Picture nominees for Oscars. After that, I plan to start chipping away at my Letterboxd watch list. Good luck, man. We all have way too many things on our watch list, so I hope you can make it through those. We just finished all of the Oscar nominees. We've seen all the Best Picture nominees anyway, with Zone of Interest being the last one, and then we were trying to watch through the Best Actor ones. So we watched Nyad for those two actresses, they're great in that movie, and then Rustin also has a Best Actor nominee. So we're gonna try to watch that. So yeah, I'm trying to catch up as well, and that should be coming up here in a couple weeks. So then I'll shift gears from Oscar movies to my list and start knocking away those. Next up, we got to talk about this. This is very, very exciting for me anyway. Dragonheart is getting another Walmart exclusive Steelbook. This is a 4K release. This got a 4K release just last year, I believe. I did not pick up the 4K release because I just bought a really cool. So like I said, this is what always happens to me. I bought this. I never in a million years thought that Dragonheart was going to get a 4K release. So I just went ahead and bought this gorgeous release from, I think, Germany. This is a German release, and it's a Blu-ray, and it has a really nice, like, Criterion style case. And I was so excited about this when I got it. And of course, right after I bought it, they announced the 4K, and the 4K comes out, but it's just like a standard jewel case. So it doesn't look as nice as this. But now they're double dipping you, and they're releasing another Dragonheart release, and this is a 4K Steelbook. Not crazy about the artwork though. It's kind of blah. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I guess it's is that the original poster for the film? Because that's kind of lame. But I love Dragonheart. It's a goofy sword and sorcery movie that I grew up with. I remember watching this with my good friend Wes and his dad way back when I was like 9 years old. So shout out to you. There it is. If you don't know what Dragonheart is, it is Dennis Quaid plays a knight, and he's taken out all the dragons, and he's got one left, and it's Sean freaking Connery. And they fight each other for a little bit. They become friends, and yeah, it's basically a buddy cop movie in medieval times with Sean Connery. But it is kind of, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, I want to show my kids this, but it is kind of rough. It's kind of rough. It's kind of violent. So I'll have to wait a little bit until they're a little older. If you can't deal with 90s, visual effects, maybe don't watch this one. I grew up with it, so it doesn't bother me too much. But yeah, it's a full CG dragon with the voice of Sean Connery. What more could you ask for? It's Dragonheart. It's amazing. And it's getting a Steelbook, and you have to go to Walmart to get it. What is the sentence I'm saying? This is insane. Let's see. Anything else coming out? These are some TV shows. Golden Coach is getting a Blu-ray release from Raro Video, or Raro Video. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. We've talked about them a little bit, but that's got a really cool cover on that one. I don't know anything about the Golden Coach, but it's a film. Oh, it's a Renoir film. Interesting. Three men of varying social standing, a viceroy, a bullfighter, and a soldier vie for the affections of an actress in 18th century Peru. That actually sounds pretty interesting. So kind of a romance, competitive romance film. That's pretty cool. Got some TV stuff here. Let's see if I have anything else that I need to call out. This looked interesting to me. I saw this when I was going through The Three Musketeers. I'm always excited for Three Musketeers adaptation. This is from Samuel Goldwyn Films. I have no idea what country this is from or how low budget this is, but it looks interesting. I like the cover. It kind of looks like, what was that, like Three Musketeers movie that came out in like 2012 that was basically a Guy Ritchie looking film where they're just like flying around and doing a bunch of flips and explosions everywhere. This is a super silly movie. Not the best adaptation. If this is something like that, then maybe I'm not interested, but I don't know. It looks kind of cool. But I have no idea. I don't know. I don't even know what country it's from. Maybe French. I think it's French because it's got the title there, which looks like French. So there you go. You got a French version of Three Musketeers coming out. And then you got some TV stuff. Extreme Dinosaurs, the complete series. Smallville, the complete series is getting re-released. That was one that went out of print when it came out. And I think we've covered everything. Just some re-releases. They're releasing Dune 4K again in a Steelbook because that one's coming out. They're releasing House of Gucci on Blu-ray and a couple other things here. I don't think there's anything else that we really need to call out. If you see anything you want to see or want to talk about, let me know. But I think most of that is just going to be re-releases that have already been released. So let's jump back and finish up with a little bit of Q&A, see what people are saying in the chat. Dan's Dan, Dragonheart is one of the most used trailer scores ever. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I like the score of that film. Ben Loves Movies. I have been watching through all of the Best Picture winners. I do not recommend this as a lot of the older winners are not deserving and not very good. I'm in the 2010s now, though, so I can't turn back. Holy cow, that's a lot. So you've been watching every single year. Congrats, man. You're in the home stretch, so I hope you make it through the rest of it. Roberto says, do you own the Watership Down Blu-ray by Criterion? If so, did you like it? And have you seen The Plague Dogs by the same director? Lots of questions. I do own it. Yes. I do like it. Yes. And I have not seen The Plague Dogs by the same director. It was on Criterion Channel for a little bit, and I think I started it, or I just like looked at the opening scene just to see what it was like. But because I'm always interested in animation, but I didn't watch it. I don't think I knew that it was the same director, but I really like Watership Down. I'd like to watch it again. I started watching that with my son, and I very quickly realized, oh, this is not for kids. So I turned it off, and I finished it by myself later, and it's really, really cool. I need to see it again, though, because I want to watch it all the way through. But the animation is really great in that. Not a lot of animation in the Criterion Collection, unfortunately, but the ones they do have are really, really good. Fantastic Planet, and Fantastic Mr. Fox, no relation. Connor Nielsen, I'll be watching all the Best Picture nominees next week in theaters. Wish me luck, because it's going to be 3 movies a day for 4 days. 4th day is Oppenheimer, then live action shorts, then animation. Oh, dude, That's a lot of movie watching. That's a lot of money. Are you like sneaking into these movies? Because 3 movies times 4 days, that's a lot of money. Movies are expensive these days. And you're going to see Oppenheimer for the 3rd time, it looks like. So strap in. Hope you enjoy that. Hopefully Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon are not on the same day. But that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. David Albee, I've never seen Dragonheart. Well, you're probably okay. I don't think you'll like it at this point. Just a childhood favorite of mine. Evil Wax, I recommend watching Rustin. Como Domingo being nominated for his performance is well deserved. Yes, it's on Netflix. We're gonna try to watch it. We got 1 month of Netflix so we can watch it, and then I think are the Oscars on Netflix this year? I know the SAGs were, so we also use that to watch those. But after this month, we're gonna try to watch all the things that are on there, and then cancel it because I don't like Netflix. Ethan Edwards says Criterion put out Golden Coach in a box set. Interesting. I wonder how that tiny little label got the rights to it. I guess Criterion doesn't need it anymore. Kevin House says he has the Golden Coach as part of the Renoir box set that Ethan just mentioned. Let's see. Henry Bidenkamp, sounds like the Criterion Renoir set will not be getting an upgrade, unfortunately. Yeah, if someone else has the rights, maybe not. Jar Jar Ed, I'm still waiting on the first 20 James Bond films to come out on 4K Blu-ray. I will not settle for the ones available on streaming. I need to see those in the uncompressed bitrate they deserve. Well, I hope that happens soon for you, man. I don't know how soon that's going to happen. Sorry if I'm butchering your name again. Rose Celevi? Which film of the Best Picture nominees are you hoping will win? Well, I don't want to spoil the video that will be upcoming next week, but no, this is actually a different question, because in that video, we're going to talk about what we would choose, not what we think will win. I think it's a pretty foregone conclusion at this point that Oppenheimer is winning. I wouldn't pick that one. That wasn't my favorite film of last year, but I think that's pretty well secured at this point. It just won a ton more stuff at SAG, and it's probably going to win a ton more stuff at the Producers Guild that's coming up here in the next couple days. So it's been cleaning up. I'm sure it's going to win Best Picture and probably Best Director as well. And maybe lead actor and supporting actor. It's been cleaning up everything. So if you like Oppenheimer, you'll be excited. If you don't, it's going to be maybe a pretty boring night for you. Paolo's here. Hey, what movies have you watched the most? Ooh, another good question. Easily, let's see. I was going to say easily. It's a Wonderful Life. We watch every year on Christmas Eve, but I didn't get into that until very recently. So it's only been like the last 5 years or so. So that is not the most. I watched a lot of goofy like kids movies a ton as a kid, so it's mostly going to be those. This is a really weird movie starring Wallace Shawn from the 90s called Just Like Dad that I watched like a ton as a kid. That was like my go to sleep movie where I would just pull my mattress out into the living room and watch that movie every single night before I went to sleep and fall asleep to it. And then Sidekicks is another movie that I watched a ton as a kid. So my parents are martial arts instructors. I don't know if I've mentioned that before. I probably have. So we watched just a ton of just like crappy Ninja Kid movies, which were all the rage in the 90s. So we had all the Three Ninjas movies. We watched a bunch. We had Surf Ninjas, you had Sidekicks, which is basically Karate Kid, except he has like asthma and like really weird daydreams about being in movies with Chuck Norris, and it's directed by Chuck Norris's brother. And I'm a crazy person and just bought the Vinegar Syndrome release of that, so I have that over there. I wish I had pulled that out so I could show you guys. Didn't know I was going to be talking about it, but yeah, all those goofy like kids ninja movies. We watched a lot of martial arts movies as a kid because my parents were into that, and that's kind of what we grew up with. So watched a ton of those. Another one called Lucky Seven. Lucky Seven is a Japanese movie about ninja kids, and it is we had an American version in the 90s. I think it's an 80s movie, but it came out in the 90s, and it's called Seven Lucky Ninja Kids, and it only has a VHS release or a very weird DVD release that's like in a compilation of like really cheap films. I would love for someone to restore Lucky Seven. That would be my dream release. Some boutique label needs to pick up Lucky 7 because I watched that movie a ton as a kid. Very silly, very weird movie. If anyone has seen Lucky 7, please let me know in the chat because we are few. 123 Rock fan. I would love to see a great adaptation of Don Quixote. Kind of surprised Disney never made a version. Yeah, there was that weird Terry Gilliam one that came out a few years ago that was like a comedy version. I didn't see it though. Connor Nielsen, Cinemark is offering that Best Picture series for $40. Oh wow, all the movies for only $40? That's crazy. That actually is a really good deal. Still crazy though. Still crazy that you're going to go to 12 movies in 3 days? 4 days? Something like that? Let's see. Connor Nielsen, will you be watching Wes Anderson's Doll shorts when you have Netflix? I have been watching those actually. Already have started. We watched through all the animated shorts in the theater, and then we watched all the live action shorts at home because those are available. Great year for shorts, I think, especially the animated ones. I would be happy if any of the first 4 won. I wasn't a huge fan of the John and Yoko one. I thought that was a little on the nose, a little cheesy, but the other 4 are great, and I'd be happy if any one of those won. And then the live action shorts were interesting too. I thought it was going to be like a runaway with Wes Anderson. I thought he wasn't going to have any competition, but there was some other really good ones. Invincible's really good as well, and I really liked It's not Night of Cups. I always want to say that. Night of whatever it is. There's another live short from Sweden, I believe. Live action short. That was really good. I really liked it about a topic that we don't ever really talk about in film. So I enjoyed that one. It's a closer race than I was thinking it was going to be. But I really enjoyed the Wes Anderson one. It's Henry Sugar is the one that's nominated, but he did do 3 other ones. And if you haven't seen them, they're very interesting. Connor, you actually, sir, who I'm talking to right now, Connor always makes the comparison to directors that use the same actors all the time, like Christopher Nolan and Wes Anderson. I used to not be a big fan of that because it always takes me out because it's the same people all the time. But he's kind of turned me around on it because he compares it to like a theater troupe where you're just working with the same people and doing different stories. So that's a really good comparison. And this, if you haven't seen the Wes Anderson shorts, is literally what it is because it's all the same actors in like all 4 of the different shorts. Or is there 5? Is there 4? I don't know how many shorts there are. But they're literally like stage productions. Like you see them moving the sets around and they just kind of stand and like narrate to the camera. They're basically like plays that he's filmed with really cool camera angles and oneers and stuff. So they're very interesting. They're very different. I highly recommend checking those out. I would have been way more interested in Wes Anderson doing a Wonka adaptation of Roald Dahl's books than what we got, but these are cool. I'm glad he's doing these. It's really cool to see Roald Dahl stuff that's not for kids. That's just like short stories that he wrote. They're very interesting. I recommend them. I liked Henry Sugar quite a bit, and if that wins, I'll be happy. People chiming in saying Oscars or ABC. Thanks for that. That's right. We will be having to get some kind of subscription to watch that because we don't have cable right now or anything really. We just have a couple streamers. Let's see. Connor Nielsen, DJ and I did a lot of 7 Lucky Ninja Kids commentary. Watch party. Lobby for him to release it. Shh. It's unreleasable. It didn't. we were too far gone at that point, Connor. But we did record that while he was here. Maybe I can do like a super cut of it because it went off the rails quickly. 123 Rock fan. I think my most watched movie ever is Homeward Bound 2: Lost in San Francisco. LOL. See, yeah, like that's kind of why I haven't done a video about that because it'll mostly be movies. Because when I was a kid, I used to watch movies over and over and over and over and over and over, and I don't do that anymore. I don't rewatch movies as much just because there's so much more stuff I want to see. Connor Nielsen, Star Wars is the movie I've seen the most. Not even close. I think I must have seen it over 100 times. Oh, at least you did that with a good movie. Roberto, what's your criteria for double dips, and do you sometimes keep your previous copy? Man, Roberto with the amazing questions tonight. Thank you so much for the great questions. Really appreciate it. What's my criteria for double dips? It has changed a lot over the years. When I first started collecting, and I thought there was only like 100 movies that I wanted because I didn't watch anything back then. I was in high school. In early college, and all I watched was like superhero films and like sci-fi stuff. It's only recently that I've been getting into, that I've been really broadening my palette and checking out a lot more stuff. But back then, when there wasn't that many movies I thought I wanted, I would buy multiple versions of my favorite movies. I would just buy, I would continue to buy the same movie. I do not do that anymore. Nowadays, my criteria is pretty much just find the best version of it or the one that I like the most and just get that one. I don't usually double dip on things anymore unless it was something that I owned from like a long time ago, like Fargo, for example. I have a really old Blu-ray of Fargo back there, and I do want to get the Shout Select 4K release that just came out. So if it's a really nice boutique release, or if it's a 4K restoration that's supposed to be a lot better than the original, then I'll double dip. I bought some of the Christmas 4Ks that came out last year, like the Christmas Story. There's a guy on YouTube that I watch a lot who does a lot of 4K upgrade videos, and he actually compares them side by side, and if he gives it a really good rating and he shows and it looks like a significant upgrade, which the Christmas Story one did, then I'll upgrade to that. And if it's not too expensive, I think that one was like $15 or something. So I don't really have strict criteria, but if it's a drastically better version than the one I have, then I'll probably upgrade. And ideally I would sell the old copy, but I haven't been good about that lately. Hopefully I'm going to try to start selling more things. I'm going to have to, because I'm running out of space. So I'm going to have to start selling stuff. I don't think I need to keep old versions. That's not the plan. The plan is to sell them. Like I said, I've not been very good at it, but yeah, I don't need to hold on to previous versions unless it's like very special to me. I'm trying to think. The Wonka set. So the Wonka set's a good example. I did buy the 4K of Willy Wonka because it's one of my favorite movies, and I kept the box set for the Blu-ray because it's cool. It looks good on the shelf. Maybe someday I'll sell it because I don't have the space, but for now, I'm hanging on to it because it looks great. Let's see. 123 Rock Fan, 95 Senses kind of broke me emotionally. Yeah, 95 Senses is one of the short films nominated this year, the animated ones, and it's amazing. That was one of my favorites. My other favorite was Pachyderm. Whew. Pachyderm. All of the short films are super heavy this year. Very stacked year. But yeah, Pachyderm and 95 Senses are my two favorites. Kevin House, I've probably seen Meet Me in St. Louis, Miracle on 34th Street, and The Wizard of Oz more than any other films. I mean, those are all solid entries. I wish I had seen Meet Me in St. Louis more. I haven't seen it that many times, but I have seen Wizard of Oz a bunch. That's another one that I got into later in life, but I've been watching it a lot since. It's my daughter's favorite movie, so she watches it all the time. So we've seen it quite a bit recently. That's one that I would like to upgrade to the 4K Nova Media Edition. I think it's from Nova. It might be from Blue Fans, but they have a really nice lenticular, extra thick full slip for that one that I would like to get my hands on, but it's super expensive and I can't find a decent price on that one. But if I do get that, I'll let go of my Blu-ray copy that's back there. I don't need to have both. Let's see. CG Anime Fan says my most watched film is Frozen. Whew. I couldn't do that. That song grates on me after a while. Sean Fox, my most watched film would be Walk the Line, the biopic about Johnny Cash and June Carter. Let's see, what else are people saying? 123 Rock Fan, also the last few minutes of that John Lennon short came across like a Pepsi commercial. Yeah, I was not a big fan of that one. That one was for the weakest entry for sure, but the other ones are great. That's a great way to describe it. It does seem like a Pepsi commercial. All right, we've been going for a long time tonight, and we've had some really good questions, so thank you guys so much for those. Throw in any last-minute questions, comments, anything you want to put in the chat, go ahead and do that, and we'll wrap this up here pretty soon. Ethan Edwards says, I love Meet Me in St. Louis, and I'm not even a huge fan of musicals. Yeah, that's a great one. That's a good point. If you're not a huge musical fan and you love and you don't have a problem with like older films, definitely check out Meet Me in St. Louis. That one is it's really, really good. Kind of blew me away. I was not expecting, no one told me how good that movie was. I was not expecting for that to blow me away like it did, but yeah, it's really, really good. Love that one. Whether you watch it at Christmas or any other time of the year, it's really, really great. Roberto, how do your family and friends react to your collection? Like, do they like the color aesthetic? Family and friends. My family, I don't think they care. Like they get me stuff. They buy me movies. They ask for a list every year for Christmas, and they buy me movies. I don't know if they understand it because, like I said, I only got into it late, like after I moved out is when I really started getting into it. So they didn't really see my collecting too much, and it's only been after I've moved out. So I don't know. They know I like movies, and they get me some gifts for Christmas. I don't think they have any opinion on the channel. I don't think they've ever seen a video. I don't think they've ever seen, like, I don't think they care how I organize it. Friends always like it. Friends come over and like to look. Like we had a New Year's party, and like I said, my friend John, who's been on the channel, he brought one of his film friends that he's been friends with for a long time. They're coming over again on Oscar night. But yeah, they came in here. It was like a New Year's party, and then we waited till after New Year's to come up here and start looking at the movies, and then we took like another hour just kind of talking about films and looking through everything. So people like it. This is where I work. I work from home. I have a design job where I design websites, and we do a lot of Google meetings, and this is my background for meetings, and everyone always says stuff about it. This is basically what people see in meetings. If you work with me and you're in a meeting with me, it kind of looks like you're just in a YouTube video, but people always mention it. I don't know. People seem to like it. It works for me. I like looking at it every day when I'm here working in the office. Timothy Kendra, hey, big fan of your stuff. Kicking myself because I wanted to go to that Satan Tango screening you ended up going to, but couldn't. Hope you enjoyed. Oh, so another Atlanta resident. Hey, Timothy. Yeah, man. Let me know if you're going to any other movies at the Plaza, because I'd like to meet you and talk for a little bit. I don't know when the next Plaza movie that I'm going to be going to. I haven't been looking at their upcoming releases, but they show a lot of cool stuff. Thanks for the kind words about the channel. Really appreciate it. Patrick Craig, getting anything in the Criterion sale tomorrow? Yes, sir, I am. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. I have 2 things in my cart right now that I will be picking up as soon as we get the word that the sale's on. One of them is a box set that I've been wanting since it was released a couple years ago. Very excited about that box set. Finally going to pull the trigger on it. And you guys probably know what I'm talking about, because I've talked about the director a lot. He's one of my favorites. Sean Fox, Singing in the Rain 4K looks crystal clear. I don't have that one yet. I need to pick that one up. Do your best Cary Grant impersonation. Good grief. I don't even know what he talks like right now. Cary Grant. Yeah. I'll work on it. I'll get back to you on that. Eva Wax. I'm not a huge fan of musicals, but I love The Bandwagon. I don't know what The Bandwagon is, but I am a huge fan of musicals, so maybe I'll check it out. 123 Rock Fan. Are you looking forward to the new Planet of the Apes? Not really looking forward to it. I don't really get excited about new movies these days. I just don't really keep up with what's coming out. But I love the trilogy. I love the first 3, so I'm a little leery of the director, because it's like the director of the Maze Runner movies. Is that right? So the director from the first 3 is not, or the second 2 of the trilogy is not coming back. Matt Reeves, he's all tied up in Batman stuff. So like I said, I love those movies. There's one of my favorite trilogies of all time, especially modern trilogies. And I am optimistic. I hope it's great. It should be, I don't know. I'm excited to check it out. I don't know. What'd you say? You said you're looking forward to it. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not super excited, but I am looking forward to it, and I hope it's great. Roberto, are you a Dark Crystal or Labyrinth fan? Settle the 80s Jim Henson debate. I cannot settle it because I have not seen either of those films. I was actually just talking about these with Connor over the weekend. I'm shocked that they haven't got the rights to those, that Arrow hasn't got the rights to those yet, because I feel like those are perfect Arrow limited edition material. I feel like they should release both of those. I don't know who's got the rights. Is it Warner Brothers or something? I don't know who has the rights to those, but maybe they can't secure them. But I feel like those would be perfect Arrow releases. Those are huge cult classics. I am a huge fantasy fan, but I didn't grow up with those. I didn't grow up with 80s movies, and I wish I did, because I probably would love those more than I would now if I went to them. But yeah, let me know if they hold up still to this day for new viewers, because I still haven't seen those. Let's see. 123 Rock Fan. I recently watched Umbrellas of Cherbourg for the first time, and even though I liked it, I had to take a break from musicals for a while. Yeah, I would say I love Demi, but I can see him being difficult for it's musicals are hard when it's in a different language, right? I mean, it's French, so it sounds good anyway, but I don't know. It is a different thing watching a musical in a different language, but I really like Demi's films. I need to finish that box set. I've seen Donkey Skin, Young Girls, and Umbrellas, but I have not watched the other 3. I think there's 3 other films in there, maybe just 2. I need to finish that box set. That's something else I need to do this year. WI Watch Guys here. Hey, welcome. Hello, sir. Hope this finds you well. What is the Criterion sale tomorrow? Are you asking? I'm going to answer the question that you asked. I don't know if it's a typo, but you're saying, what is the Criterion sale tomorrow? The Criterion sale is a 50% off sale. It's a flash sale on the website. It's only 24 hours, and it usually happens toward the end of February, so I'm told. That's what everyone's saying on the internet. I don't really keep track of it, but it's a flash sale, so it's only 24 hours, but anything on the site is 50% off, at least movies. I don't know if merch is, but most if you just want the movies. So yeah, check out criterion.com if you want to pick something up on the sale. I think it's tomorrow. I don't know for sure, but hopefully it is. Jay Hutch is here. I too am jumping on the bandwagon. Great movie. Yeah, someone else mentioned that Bandwagon is one of Minnelli's greatest films. So interesting. I have not seen Bandwagon. I'll have to check it out. Timothy is going to Robot Dreams at the Terra Theater on 3/6. I saw that. I saw the Plaza is also playing Robot Dreams. They're only playing it like one day, but that's one of the films nominated for Best Animated Feature, which I'm sad to say I have not seen all the entries in. I haven't even seen half, I don't think. I've seen Elemental and Spider-Man. I have not got a chance to see Miyazaki's new film yet, and I really want to. The Boy and the Heron, it's still in theaters. I haven't had a chance to get out to a theater and see it. And also Robot Dreams is very hard to get your hands on and see, but it is playing at the Plaza, and it looks like the Terra too, so maybe I can hopefully get there. I tried to watch Nimona on Netflix. I couldn't get into it, and I eventually turned it off. Didn't get very far in though, so maybe that's on me. Connor says, I'll say this for the Maze Runner movies. They might not be that good, but I did think they were decently directed, particularly the action scenes. Has been a long while though. Okay, cool. That's good. Maybe he's a good director and he just didn't have good material to work with. So like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic for those Apes movies. Character Digi. Sony has just got the rights to Dark Crystal and Labyrinth. Oh, sweet. So they'll definitely put something out. I hope they get a partner label though and put out some kind of boutique release for those, because I feel like those deserve boutique releases. All right, let's wrap this up here. Finishing up. Watch Guy says 50% off. Wow, yeah. So it's just like the Barnes & Noble sales. You get 50% off anything on the site. It's a really good deal, and that's why I'm taking advantage of it and getting a big box set. Hopefully tomorrow. Dan's Den says Robot Dreams, the last animated feature nomination I have yet to see. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough to see that one. It's not even in theaters. Like, not only is it not on streaming, it's like barely in theaters. You have to go to like these one night events. 123 Rock Fan, I switch back and forth between being obsessed with old films and then binge watching new films. I need to mix it up a bit more. Dude, I'm the exact same way. I mostly watch older stuff throughout the year, and then end of the year I have to catch up on everything that came out from the year. So yeah, I would love to see more films throughout the year. It's just hard to get out to a theater when you got kids. Roberto, any thoughts on Ren and Stimpy? There's a complete series Blu-ray of it from Germany. That is a 90s Nickelodeon show, I think. I have no thoughts. I completely missed all of those 90s shows. I did not have TV growing up. We had a TV, but we didn't have cable, so we only watched movies. That's why I'm a movie guy. That's why I'm not a TV guy. Did not grow up with it. But yeah. That's cool that they got a Blu-ray. I'm excited for that. I love getting physical releases of older shows that don't get a lot of love usually. Connor Nielsen says The Boy and the Heron was serene. I really want to see it. I have to see that one before the Oscar night, because that's one I really want to see. All right. Let's wrap it up here. We're at an hour and a half. Thank you guys so much who have joined us tonight. Really enjoyed the conversation. Lots of great questions tonight. We went longer than we usually do on Q&A. So thank you guys so much. Really glad that you guys are enjoying these. And I'm going to keep doing them every Monday night. Like I said, live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys so much for watching after the fact as well. And I'll read and appreciate all of your comments that you leave down there. Go ahead and chime in on any of the releases we talked about this week if you have any insight there. And we're going to do this again next week. We're going to keep doing it until I don't know, until there's no more interest or until I get completely burnt out. But I'm liking it. I think it's been fun to keep up with everything that's coming out. Thank you guys all for the comments in the chat. Everybody's saying goodbye. Sean Fox says, thank you, DJ. You have our support. I look forward to your live streams every week. Thanks so much. That's been the reason that I keep doing this every week, because it's just been a lot of fun, and you guys are super, super nice. Thank you guys so much, especially the two guys that gave donations tonight. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back again for another one. And like I said, got a couple videos already in the works. Going to be editing up that shelf tour and getting that out to you this week. And then we'll be doing the Oscar video next Sunday and getting that out right before the Oscars come out. So lots of stuff coming out. Thank you guys. Stay tuned. And until next time, keep collecting. And we'll be back with another video real soon.